Hey everybody, this is S.J. Thomason with Truth Matters at Christian-Apologist.com. You may have noticed the past couple of weeks that I've been releasing videos on Sunday at 3:16 p.m. Eastern, and I'm doing that in an effort to give you hope. And so the purpose of these videos is to give you hope and for you to see some of the miracles, some of the things that God is doing these days. He's very active in our lives, and we only need to open our eyes to see it. In this video, I'm going to present former Navy SEAL Shawn Ryan and his wife Katie as they discuss a truly interesting, very interesting story where it looks like Shawn has a guardian angel. And everything that happens in this story is for a reason. And you can see when God decided to intervene in Shawn's life and to really make himself known. And you're also going to see some of the trials that Shawn had been going through. He said he had given up hope on society. He said maybe he should just accept these horrible things that he's seeing out there, especially coming in our culture and some of the things in the last, say, 10 years or so. And he was going to throw in the towel. And at this point, God decided he didn't want Shawn to throw in the towel. He likes what Shawn's doing. Shawn's got a really fantastic YouTube channel, so you're going to want to go over there and subscribe to it. And so let's listen to what Shawn and his wife have to say about this amazing intervention from God and his guardian angel. Here we go.
Certain states, they're okay with that. It's all good. So these are the things that I'm like, the world's changing. Like, you got to be okay with this, or you can check out because you don't belong here anymore. This isn't your world, and it's not my world. And I know that, but I'm like I said, I'm not going to conform to this shit. And so this is the conversation I'm having planned in my head as we get down, to the front gate of the resort. We're staying at this resort called Enchantment, and they got an armed guard at the gate. And we were there for what, like a week?
Yeah.
We're there for a week. I pay attention to these kind of things. I was a SEAL. I was a CIA guy. I take security extremely seriously, very seriously. And a lot of these guys at that gate, they knew who I was. Say hi, I love the show, fan, whatever, and met them all. It's cool to meet them. But this night, we'd been in and out of that gate how many times?
Yeah, quite a few.
And
mostly by foot, so we'd walk right by.
Yeah, always, these are the people that are guarding your ass. You better be nice to them, and so get to know them. Well, this time this old man walked out, and why don't you go into this? Because I wasn't present in the moment. I was totally in my own head. This old man came by and said something, and the only thing I remember at first is I had my back turned to him like this, and I was looking at him over my shoulder because I wanted to give him the body language that, hey, buddy, I'm not in the mood right now. I don't want to talk, and I don't care what the fuck you have to say. I'm moving on.
But I did. So I started talking to him. And nicest old guy. But yeah, I quickly just started a conversation with him and noticed his accent. And of course, started talking the whole New England thing. He was from Boston. And then you started to kind of turn our direction because you realized I'm in it for a little bit. And that's when he started like acknowledging you in the conversation then. And he just kind of started saying everything you needed to hear.
That's what got my attention. I didn't care. I remember him looking at me and telling me he was a veteran, an Air Force veteran. And this guy, I'll estimate, what do you think, 65, maybe 70?
I'd say in his 70s.
He looked at me.
As happy as could be, too.
Yeah, super nice guy. Like I said, I'm giving the body language like, hey, buddy, I just want to go back to my room. I don't want to talk. I'm not in the mood. He looks at me, tells me he's a veteran. And then it was like this guy jumped inside of my head and read every single thought that I was having, so much so that it literally scared the shit out of me. I don't even remember everything he said because after the first thing, it freaked me out. And he looked at me and he was talking about himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, he was like, you know, I remember when I got out, he's like, all these things were happening, you know, outside of my control, outside of the country. He's like, they really bothered me. And he goes, but you know what? And he was talking about, I mean, he was like, this thing over here, you don't need to worry about that anymore. That's not your fight. And this stuff with China, that's not your fight either. And all these things that are happening within the country, that's not my fight anymore. That's my kid's fight.
He said he fought his fight.
Yes, he said he fought his fight. And now it's somebody else's turn. But he went through, and I don't remember. Do you remember everything he said?
I remember he talked about his travels, that he loves to just travel now. And one of the places he loves to spend his time is California. And that's when you and I were like, what? Why are you going to California?
Yeah.
And he said, I know it's messed up right now. He said, but man, it's beautiful and the weather's beautiful. And he just loved it for what it was, what the natural beauty of the state. I can't say anything about it because I haven't spent enough time there, but he just thought like you and I were crazy to not see its natural beauty and for what it actually was. And you and I thought he's crazy for spending his time in such a corrupt and out of control state right now from what we hear. And that's what really got us like tuned into what, like, how can this guy even think this way? But he was just living his life. He said, oh my gosh, the weather, and I get to go to the beach. And he was just really enjoying it for what it was and didn't let anything else faze him.
Yeah.
Nothing was getting to him.
Yeah. I think that was towards the end because I do remember that portion.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember the very first thing, you know, he said was he was talking about all this stuff that's happening outside of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was, that man read my mind from front to back in about 60 seconds and just went through it all. Boom, 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 boom. And after, like I said, after the first thing, when he was talking about all the stuff outside of the country, it literally freaked me out.
Yeah.
I don't know if my face changed, but I was like, how is this guy in my head right now? And then he said something else. And I remember thinking, he's 100% in my head right now. What the fuck is going on? And, and then I totally tuned out because that's all I could think about was how is this man in my head right now at this specific moment in time, reading each and every one of my thoughts and reciting them back to me. And conversation ended. We started walking again. It was dark. And I remember looking at you and I just said, holy shit. I think God just spoke to me through that man.
And I was feeling so relieved because I knew it was everything that you needed to hear at that moment. So I was just really happy.
Do you remember what you said?
No.
I said, I can't believe. I just kept saying it. I was like, I cannot believe. We had never seen that man before. We had been in and out of that gate at least 5 times a day, all different times, nighttime, daytime, morning, you name it. We're out hiking around or going out in town or going out to a nice dinner. And I never saw that man there the entire time we were there until that very last night. And I kept saying, I can't believe it. That guy just read my mind. I think that was God. He was talking to me. And you said, Shawn, you don't realize it, but God's always around you. You said, look at all the good things that are happening to you. Look at the impact you're making on the people that listen. And how could you not see that? And I just kept saying, I was like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And you said, the reason you can't believe it is because you've never made room for him. We're always busy doing all these other things.
Isn't that absolutely beautiful? So just remember, there's strangers among us sometimes, and you never know if that could be an angel. And so thank you for coming in today. I hope you like and subscribe. If you like this kind of material, please share it with your friends. Please feel free. And just remember, whether you eat, drink, or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. Thank you.